Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Bonsai Journey. Today I'm going to show you how we are going to turn this into this. It is a common juniper. I don't know the variety. It just says Juniperus chinensis. I'm going to start by removing the juvenile sort of stress foliage. It's generally located in sort of weaker growing areas, so you'll see that it's sort of located underneath a lot of the main foliage where there's not much light. I picked up this tree for £3.45, so just over $4 from a garden centre. There you can see the price. I'm going to cut off the rim to get access to it. I removed the stress foliage and I'm going to go straight in to make a gin. I'm using a sharp graft knife to cut away the bark. At the moment it's just an introductory one to make it easier to bend the lower part of the trunk. I'll widen it over time. I'm happy to make just a small one now, and I can expand upon that later. I haven't sped this up or cut bits out. I think it's quite important to see. But essentially, I drew down like a scalpel and then sort of using the edge of the blade to just pull out the cambium and the bark until you hit hardwood. Because you don't want it to heal over. You want it to you want the wood underneath to sort of dry out, and then it will weather over time and become more interesting, and I can do work on it at a later date. I'm going to remove the bark around the small branch. I decided it was too low to be a major branch. Junipers need dead wood. It's going to be a little juniper. I can always carve it out and make a hole there in the future to make the gin more interesting. I edited this together last night, so I can't remember exactly the order of the footage, but there you go. You get a good look at the little gin there. I found this craft knife quite good. I haven't actually got any specific tools, but a good tool will save you time. But it's good to take time in whatever you're doing to make sure you get it right. So here I am going slightly deeper, trying to sort of change the straight line up a little bit on the left. I was sort of been told by some people with lots of experience that you draw one line and you keep that the same, and then the other side you expand upon. So you always, if you draw the line on the right, and then you always expand on the left, and just keep making it wider. So next up, I'm going to put some white paper, laminated paper in, so you can see what foliage I intend to keep. The rest will be coming off. It splits quite low down, and I don't want the inverse taper from the other branch, so here I am just speeding up, chopping off all this unnecessary growth. I'm leaving little stumps on end and not going all the way back to bare wood, because I intend to make that a deadwood feature, and deadwood features look really boring when it's just a thin white piece of wood. You want to keep the sort of knobbly bits on, because real deadwood looks interesting. And yeah, so here I am going in just with my hands. I broke it up a bit with the pliers, and then I'm just tearing it off with your hands. Your hands are pretty versatile tools, and so sort of short nails go quite well at just sort of stripping it off. You can also sort of feel the it's quite easy to take the knobbly bits off with tools, but with your fingers you can sort of feel the resistance. You don't end up crushing it. I was tidying the end up with a craft knife. I think I intended to cut that off anyway, and there's no more knobbly bits at the end. So here I am going in again, making sure to remove the bark and the sort of first layer of cambium until you get to white wood. I won't show all of it because it's quite sort of tedious work. But there you can see getting right in there with the craft knife. If I had some scraping tools, I would use them. So, when you do your deadwood, go ahead and do that. I'm aware I could have left this branch to grow thicker, but at the moment, this video was, I bought some little junipers to work on. If they die, they die. This shouldn't die. I'm not going to do any root work, but I'm happy with the result. I quite like it. It's got some artistic value. I'll wait until it grows out and pushes some growth before sort of styling any sort of pad. But we'll get to that later. In this instance, I haven't put any wire on the deadwood. I won't be doing that because I like the idea of the sort of foliage pads, this branch sticking up through the canopy, and then the foliage sort of going around this. So I will put some wire on it to twist it into a more interesting shape, but for today, I'm just going to leave it, and you'll sort of see why. So here I am with the foliage. I don't want all these opposing branches, so there's too many of them to be viable. So I'm going to go sort of left, right, left, right, left, right, all the way up. There's a little bit of variation on them being sort of front and back, but as you can see, it's basically a left-right pad, or a left-right all the way up. And I've just put it on the white so you can see it clearly. So I'm counting left, right, and leaving, cutting off the ones in between. I did accidentally cut off the tip there, but it doesn't matter. That's going to be sort of a secondary branch, or it may come off entirely down the line. So here we go again, left, right, all the way up, shortening some of the ones higher up, because I don't want them sort of too long dangling over the edge of the shape of the tree. Now I'm applying some raffia so I can get a nice tight bend. Unfortunately I didn't film starting the raffia off, but I'm sure you know how to apply raffia. Tie it nice and tight, wet it obviously beforehand, soak it for at least half an hour, and wrap it round nice and tight. There you go, so nice and tight. I've only got it on the bits that I think might snap, and I know you might be thinking, oh well, it's quite a thin branch, why do you need raffia? Well, you will see why I need raffia, because it is quite I get quite a bend on it. I'm going anti-clockwise with the wire. It's just I've looked at the way the tree bends, and I think an anti-clockwise bend is suitable. It's pretty thick wire. I want to make sure the bend holds, and they're quite tight together, and they're not really at a 45-degree angle until higher up, because I will be giving it quite a bend, and if you loop the bends in the wire too far apart and you do tight bends, you sort of it doesn't hold it in place well enough. So the pitch of the wire should sort of correlate with the steepness of the bend you're doing, not just the consistent sort of robotic 45-degree angle. So the thick wire didn't make it all the way to the end. It's a waste of wire and it will be overkill. I'm not applying the wire very tight here because I think it's 2mm I'm using, and that's sort of overkill, but it's just to hold it in shape until it sets next year, and then I'll cut all of it off. So I did the secondary branch as well. I didn't show you that, but you don't need to see that, I don't think. It's just more of the same. So here I am going for a tight bend. So I think, okay, I want to get some movement coming down. So I pinch nice and hard. You want to sort of flex the tree and feel how flexible it is. And then I'll bend it back up the other way, so we've got like a double kink low down. You can see how tight the angles are. You could use less wire or no raffia and sort of wrap a guy wire around it to hold it together. I don't want to compress the height of the tree too much. I'm quite happy with it being a shohin tree, or maybe a mame will get it below 6 inches. And then I'm continuing to twist anti-clockwise with the wire, the direction the wire is coiled, and so I'm rotating it as well. So as it grows, the trunk won't just grow sort of straight and curve round in a gentle curve. It will twist as well. So as you put gins and charis in, as it grows over time, you'll get that twisting bark, which you can't do when it's old. You may be able to bend a branch when it's old, but good luck twisting a branch when it's old. So I'm nearly at the end there. I put some wire on, I think 2 sets of the branches, just to give the the first pair, just to give them a little bit of placement. The back branch I ended up sort of wiring in the back. I couldn't find a position that I really liked for it. But there you go. And for you it's 10 minutes. It took me maybe 25-30 minutes, but playing around with the camera, I wasn't rushing at all. And here we go. This is the end. Sorry, the dog's barking. I think someone's come into the door, but here we go. That's the final product, and there's some glamour shots at the end. So there you go. £3.50.